So if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I have my Cricket Taxa Cricket camper, and I've done some things to it. I've put in a solar panel charging system, and one of the things we really like about the solar panel is that we have a fridge, an ARB 50 quart fridge freezer that will run off my battery and the solar panel, and we really like that. It's a lot nicer than having a Yeti cooler, which I do have, and having to put ice in it all the time, and then having things be soggy and whatever. So this summer we're going to a campsite in Idaho that doesn't allow us to have a camper, and so we're taking our tent and going back to the tent. But one thing I really wanted to use was my ARB fridge, and so I started looking at what I could do to be able to run that. It's a campground with no service, so no plugins. Anyway, so I started looking at GoalZero and the all-in-one solar charger, battery, inverter, 12-volt output, those types of things, and they're really expensive. So like $1,500 for the medium-sized one. And while I was looking at that, I was like, well, maybe I could just make my own. There's really nothing in there that is proprietary as far as I know. And so I started looking at what size battery I could fit in like a toolbox, just a regular toolbox. And so I have made my own GoalZero. The only thing that mine doesn't have that the GoalZero has is an inverter. And I don't really have anything that I care to run off 120 volts anyway, so all my stuff is 12 volts. Phone chargers, fan perhaps, and my ARB fridge. So I'm going to be showing you my version of the GoalZero today. So here's my version of the GoalZero. Basically I bought a toolbox from Home Depot, and I wanted one that was a little bit sturdy because the thing does weigh quite a bit. There's a 70 amp hour AGM battery in here. So I'll just open it up and kind of show you what we have. So I have a 70 amp hour AGM battery. I got a shut off for the positive. I got a shut off for the solar panel, and then I have a solar controller, solar panel controller for the charging. I also have two meters. This is for my input into the battery, so I can check to see how much my solar panel is putting out, and then this is for the output from the battery, so I can tell how much juice I'm using. And what I did was I cut square holes in the toolbox, put these two in, wired it up, and I also bought a 4-panel thing here. I kind of wish I hadn't got this. I really don't have a need for this because I have my voltage meter here. This I bought first. It's basically just a voltage meter, a 12-volt outlet, and two, if I can get this open, two USB outlets. I thought there's a potential to wanting a couple of 12-volt outlets, so I put another one of those on the side here, and they got USB and 12-volt there. So I'll go ahead and flip this on, and you'll see that my battery is at 12.8 volts, and basically the only thing this does is give me another meter. I also have this so running these things, so if I turn this off, oh, I guess I got this connected direct because I didn't think I needed that. anyway, because I got my I can turn that off up here. So 12 volt, the input is right back here, so I can plug in my solar panel and charge up the battery during the day, and then use the 12 volt things at night or during the day. And I'm gonna go get my fan and kind of show you what that does. So what I did was I just went and got my fan. I use this fan in my camper. It has a handle on it. I can clip it up with a carabiner up in the ceiling and hang it in front of a window, and I can flip it around, either blow air out from the camper or pull cool air from the outside into the camper. So I like the fan. So I just plugged it into my 12 volt outlet here, and I'll go ahead and put that on. And this is running at the low speed. You can see it draws 0.289 amps. And if I turn it up to the full, it runs 0.38 amps. So there's my my version of the GoalZero without the inverter. One other thing that I have in here, I bought a trickle charger so that if need be, I can, if I don't have my solar panels connected, but I'm driving down the road with this, I can basically plug in a small inverter into my car 12 volt outlet, connect that to my battery. I actually have it set up so I can have the cord out. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Have this plugged into my car and can be charging this battery while we're driving down the road with my fridge plugged in here or plugged into the car. So like I said, this is my version of the GoalZero, what they call generator, and I have a 70 amp hour battery, a couple of shutoffs, a couple of meters, and it was pretty easy to build and pretty portable. I think it ended up costing me probably $150, including the battery, which was $100. So everything else in here was probably $50, and that's my GoalZero.